Hare Krishna, dear devotees, my humble obeisances to you. I would like to welcome you all for His Holiness Chandramauli Maharaj's daily online class. Thank you all for joining. Today's class will be a recorded class from His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada on Canto 2, 2.3.31. So I will go ahead and share the screen and we can hear from His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Okay, just having some problem, one moment. Okay.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Page 157, text 21. Vara Param Patta Kirita Jushtam Api Uttamangam Na Namen Mukundam Shavo Karo No Kurute Sapajam Hare Vasat Kanchana Kankano Varak Parang Patta Kirita Jushtam Varak Parang Patta Kirita Jushtam Apyuttamangam Nanamen Mukundam Apyuttamangam Nanamen Mukundam Shavo Karo No Kurute Sapajam Shavo No Kurute Sapajam Hare Lasat Kanchana Kankanova Hare Lasat Kanchana Kankanova Barak Parang Pattakarita Jushtam Barak Parang Pattakarita Jushtam Apyuttamangam Nanamen Mukundam Apyuttamangam Nanamen Mukundam Shavo Karo No Kurute Sapajam Shavo Karo No Kurute Sapajam Hare Lasat Kanchana Kankanova Hare Lasat Kanchana Kankanova Patta Kirita Jushtam Abhyuttamangam Nanamen Mukundam Shavo Karo No Kurute Sapajam Hare Lasat Kanchana Kankanova Varak Param Patta Jushtam Apyuttamangam Nanamen Mukundam Shavo Karo No Kurute Sapajam Hare Lasat Kanchana Kankanova Varak Param Patta Kirita Jushtam Apyuttamangam Nanamen Mukundam Shavo Karo No Kurute Sapajam Hare Lasat Kanchana Kankanova Varak Param Patta Kirita Jushtam Apyuttamangam Nanamen Mukundam Shavo Karo No Manaparam Patragirinajutam Avyudhamagame Makundam Shyavakaram Prute Sapajam Harena Tatkanjana Kankaroha.
What meaning?
Vara, a great burden. Parang, heavy. Patta, silk. Kirita, turban. Jushtam, dressed with. Api, even. Uttama, upper. Angam, parts of the body. Na, never. Namet, bow down. Mukundam, Lord Krishna, the deliverer. Shavo, dead bodies. Karo, hands. No, do not. Kurute, do. Saparjam, worshipping. Hare, of the personality of Godhead. Lasat, glittering. Kanchana, made of gold. Kankano, bangles. Va, even though.
The upper portion of the body, though crowned with a silk turban, if not bowed down before the personality of Godhead, who can award mukti, freedom, is a heavy burden only. And the hands, though decorated with glittering bangles, if not engaged in the service of the personality of Godhead, Hari, are like those of a dead man.
So, Bhara Param Patra Kirita Jista, silk turban with pearl, what is called, decoration, bedecked with pearl. These are the signs of king. It's like we decorate Krishna with turban, bedecked with jewels. So, this turban is good. So long we bow down before the death. Otherwise, it is a great burden. Although it is made of silk, still it will be a great burden. The idea is that if we bow down or surrender unto the lotus feet of Mukunda Krishna, one who gives liberation, then we can enjoy princely order or richness. There is no harm. But if we are lacking in that capacity to surrender unto the Supreme Lord and simply become puffed up with these riches, then it will be burden. Burden means very soon everything will be lost. Just like you cannot keep the burden, heavy burden on your head for a long time. Similarly, this nice turban, silk turban, will be felt as great burden. This is the law of nature. If you misuse the power and do not feel obliged to the Supreme Personality of Godhead who has given you the power, then he will be finished very soon. That is the history. Any nation, any empire, any man, as soon as one begins to defy the authority of the Supreme Lord, like Ravan, he will be finished. Sooner or later he is going to be finished. Just like Ravan, he was very much puffed up by his material opulence, and he did not care for Rama, and he wanted the potency, energy of Rama, spiritual energy, Sita, and he kidnapped. He wanted that he did not like Rama, but he liked Sita. Sita is energy, woman and money. These are energies of Krishna. Krishna is Purusha. And all other things are Prakriti. Prakriti is enjoyed by the Purusha. So Krishna says, Bhoktanam bhajagadammasam sarvaloko ayansaram. He is Bhokta. He is the enjoyer. These, in the material world or spiritual world, the same thing is there. The woman is there, the money is there, and the Purusha is there, enjoyer is there. But here the Purusha is imitation. Imitation. Because one who is playing the part of Purusha, enjoyer, is not actually Purusha, but he is Prakriti. Falsely he representing himself as Purusha, as enjoyer. Therefore we have got trouble. Artificially, just like a woman, if he is artificially trying to be man, as it is botheration, it is not possible. If a woman is dressed like a man, does it mean that he is man? She is man, or she can enjoy like man? No. False dress. Similarly, here in this material world, we are falsely dressed with this material body and imitating Krishna, enjoy. Exactly like the woman dressed in male's dress wants to enjoy. That is not possible. Similarly, here the living entity, either dressed in male dress or female dress, this outward body is dressed. Somebody is dressed like a female, somebody is dressed like a male, but none of them are male. Both of them are originally female, Prakriti. Prakriti means feminine gender. Prakriti. In the Bhagavad Gita I will find aparayam mitastu vidhi me prakritim para. This material energy, earth, water, fire, air, they are also my energy, Krishna says, but they are inferior energy. But there is another energy, Jiva Bhuta, the living entities. And that is superior energy. So the superior energy is dressed in two ways, as male and female. Because without male and female there is no enjoyment. Therefore they have been dressed falsely by the material nature as enjoyer. Here, either a woman or a man, everyone is trying to enjoy. Nobody is trying to become enjoyed. Everyone is trying to enjoy. But he cannot, he or she, everyone is she, but some of them are dressed like he. Because everyone is Prakriti. But this mentality that I shall enjoy, that is false, propensity of the living entity. That is called Maya. He cannot enjoy. But he is posing himself as enjoyer. That is the disease. He is, up to the end, he is trying to become God. The so-called tapasya, jnani, yogi, they are trying to come to the liberated position, but thinking that I shall become God. The same disease. Up to the end, the same disease. God means enjoy. So these diseases can be cured only by surrender. That is the only medicine. Therefore Krishna says, Sarva dharman parityajya mamekang saranang braja. Here also the same thing. Bharap parang patta kirita justa. A princely order, a king, he has been given the chance of ruling over a kingdom, but if he forgets his position, he actually becomes the proprietor, then this kingdom will be burdened, just like it became so in the case of Ravana, and he was finished. Similarly, as soon as the kings of the world became puffed up with their false power, the monarchy is now finished all over the world. Otherwise, say 500 years ago, all over the world, there were kings, monarchical government. But they misused their power. They did not surrender. Therefore, their turban or crown became very burdensome, and they had to give it up. And still, in some countries, the so-called king or queen are existing, and they have no power. It is simply a show bottle. But they have lost their power. So, we should be very much careful. Not become puffed up by a princely order, turban, but we must know that this opulence, this kingdom, this power, everyone, anyone who has got some power, he must know that this power is given by Krishna and to me, and to execute his will, not my sense gratification. Otherwise it will be burdened and he will be finished. This is law of the body. Nobody can become the enjoyer. The only enjoyer is God. And if we want to enjoy falsely, then we will be in trouble. Similarly, those who are rich have got ornaments, bangles. If the hand is not engaged in the service of the Lord. Therefore, we should always engage our hands, not only hands, hands, legs, eyes, everything should be engaged in Krishna's service. Either you wipe the floor of the temple, or you type, or anything, or you do something. Hands must be engaged for the service of the Lord. Similarly, legs should be engaged also for the service of the Lord. The legs can be engaged. If you are living in a distant place, engage your legs to come here. That is the engagement of the legs. Eyes should be engaged to see very beautiful deity, well decorated. Then you will feel satisfaction. Otherwise your eyes will draw you to see something nonsense beautiful. So, all our senses should be engaged. Then there is no Maya. And if you have got good engagement, then there is no scope for wrong engagement. The wrong engagement is Maya, and good engagement is Krishna. So try to engage yourself always in Krishna's service, and Maya will not be able to touch you. Sabai mana Krishna padaravindaye. If you engage your tongue for talking about Krishna, to taste Krishna prasadam, then there will be no scope of your tongue for being engaged in nonsense talking or going to restaurant and take nonsense food. The Mayavadi philosophy is to stop by force, to make it zero. My senses are giving me trouble to pluck out the eyeballs. This is their trick. And that is not possible. Because we are living entity, we have got all our senses. Then because we have got senses, therefore we are living. A dead stone has no senses. So that is the distinction between living entity and matter. But the so-called rascal philosophers, scientists, they do not know this distinction, and still they philosophize, they theorize. They think that the dead stone and the human being or living entity is the same. That is their fault. The living entity is a different entity. It is not dead stone. Therefore it is called superior energy. It has got will. It has got little independence. Therefore he is selecting different types of bodies for enjoyment. So the modern material scientists, so-called scientists, actually they are fools and rascals, as it is mentioned in the Bhagavatam. Saeva gokhara. Why big scientists and philosophers have been described in the Bhagavatam as fools and rascals? Because jasatma buddhi kunapeti dhatuki. Because they consider this body is self. That is their fault. That is their ignorance. The Darwin's theory, this theory, that theory, simply they are bewildered, thinking this body is the self. The body is developing or evolution. No. So, all our senses should be engaged in the service of the Lord. That is perfection. It is indirectly being said in these verses that if our senses are not engaged in the service of the Lord, then it is dead. Savau. Savau karuno kruti sapajyam. Just like a dead man, he has got his legs and hands, but he cannot employ it for his service. It is now flat. Actually it is flat, but because within the body there is the soul who is eternal servant of Krishna, if he does not come to the Krishna consciousness platform and does not engage himself in the service of the Lord, then his hands, legs, face, everything is dead body. The decoration of dead body. This is the conclusion. Now go on, ready.
As stated herein before, there are three kinds of devotees of the Lord. The first class devotee does not see at all anyone who is not in the service of the Lord, but the second class devotee makes distinctions between devotees and non-devotees. The second class devotees are therefore meant for preaching work, and as referred to in the above verse, they must loudly preach the glories of the Lord. The second class devotee accepts disciples from the section of third class devotees, or non-devotees. Sometimes the first class devotees also come down to the category of the second class devotee for preaching work. But the common man who is expected to become at least a third class devotee is advised herein to visit the temple of the Lord and bow down before the deity, even though he may be a very rich man, or even a king with a silk turban or crown. The Lord is the Lord of everyone, including the great kings and emperors. And as such, rich men in the estimation of mundane people must therefore make a point to visit the temple of Lord Sri Krishna and regularly bow down before the deity.
Yes, this bow down, even the children, they are imitating bowing down, but it has got the effect. Not that the children, they have no seriousness about it. Seriousness or no seriousness. Simply if he bows down, he gets the result. He gets the result. He's dancing, he's getting the result. He's becoming devotee. This is called Ajnata Sukriti. These are the statements in Bhakti Rasa, Nectar of Devotion, you'll find. The temple is meant for giving chances to the non-devotees. Somewhere or other, if he comes in the temple, bows down, dances with us, takes the prasadam, takes charanamrita, that means he is becoming spiritually advanced. Therefore, this is a chance. And actually, our society is giving this chance. In the beginning, they come as an inquisitive visitor, then dances, then chants, then take prasadam, and say after a week he becomes seven. This is the process. Association of the devotee coming to the temple will give him impetus to make further progress.
The Lord in the temple, in the worshipable form, is never to be considered to be made of stone or wood, because the Lord in his Archa incarnation as the deity in the temple shows immense favor to the fallen souls by his auspicious presence. By the hearing process, as mentioned herein before, this realization of the presence of the Lord in the temple is made possible. As such, the first process of hearing in the routine work of devotional service is the essential point. Hearing by all classes of devotees from the authentic sources like Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam is essential. The common man who is puffed up with his material position and does not bow down before the deity of the Lord in the temple, or who defies temple worship without any knowledge of the science, must know that his so-called turban or crown will only succeed in further drowning him in the water of the ocean of material existence. A drowning man with a heavy weight on his head is sure to go down more swiftly than others who have no heavy weight. A foolish, puffed-up man defies the science of God and says God has no meaning for him. But when he is in the grip of God's law and is caught up by some disease like cerebral thrombosis, that godless man sinks into the ocean of nescience by the weight of his material acquisition. Advancement of material science without God consciousness is a heavy load on the head of human society, so one must take heed of this great warning. The common man, if he has no time to worship the Lord, may at least engage his hands for a few seconds washing or sweeping the Lord's temple. Maharaj Prataparudra, the greatly powerful king of Orissa, was always very busy with heavy state responsibilities. Yet he made it a point to sweep the temple of Lord Jagannath at Puri once a year during the festival of the Lord. The idea is that, however important a man may be, he must accept the supremacy of the Supreme Lord. This God consciousness will help a man even in his material prosperity. Maharaj Prataparudra's subordination before Lord Jagannath made him a powerful king, so much so that even the great Patan in his time could not enter into Orissa on account of the powerful Maharaj Prataparudra. And at last Maharaj Prataparudra was graced by Lord Sri Chaitanya on the very grounds of his acceptance of subordination to the Lord of the universe. So even though a rich man's wife has glittering bangles made of gold on her hands, she must engage herself in rendering service to the Lord.
So this is an actual fact that Maharaj Prataparudra was the king of Odisha, and in the 15th century India was conquered by the Mohammedans, Pathans, but they could not conquer that portion of the country, Odisha. Because Maharaj Prataparudra was very strong king, but his strength was on the basis of his devotion to Lord Jagannath. So, even if we want to enjoy the material world, the devotee does not want to enjoy, but Krishna keeps his devotee in all comfortable situations. There is no question about it. So we should not desire separately for material comfort. We should simply depend on Krishna and be satisfied. In whatever condition he keeps, be satisfied. Then he will look after whether you are comfortable or uncomfortable. If you try yourself independently to become comfortable, that is Maya. You cannot become so. Otherwise, you see, everyone is trying to be comfortable in this material world. Do you think that everyone is comfortable? Who is trying for discomfort? No, nobody is trying. Everyone is trying to be very happy. By why there are so many discrepancies? Somebody is very poor, somebody is very rich, somebody is in the middle. That means there is superior supervision. If you simply try to become rich, that is not possible. That was Shastra says, intelligent man, they should not bother about this so-called happiness and distress of the world. Tassaiva hita prajateta kovida nalabhati jad brahmatam uparjadha tallabhati dukkha vadannata sukham kalena sarvatra govira ranghasa. Distress and happiness, they are already destined according to our body. we have discussed this point. Take for example, you American boys and girls, you have got a body by your previous activities. So your standard of living is better than other countries. So actually I see that even if you go outside your country, your standard of living is maintained. Because you have got already the body. H.D.G, just like a hog. A hog, if he changes his country or position, if he is taken to heavenly planet, then what will be? He will try to find out where his stool. Because the body is hog's body. Similarly, an Indian, because he has got Indian body, even if he goes to America, he'll try for spiritual upliftment. That is the nature. A tiger, if you take the civilized human society, he'll try to hunt. They do not understand that by superior management, every living entity has been offered a different type of body for material distress and happiness. Everyone. It is not possible to change. Therefore, if we are intelligent enough, we should know that my distress and happiness in this material world is already fixed up. Because I have got a particular type of body. Then when it is fixed up, then why I shall waste my time for so-called distress and happiness? When it is fixed up. Just like you are running in a train, you have already purchased a ticket for third class. Then how you can run on the first class? That is not possible. If you want to run on the first class compartment, you must purchase a ticket. Similarly, we have already purchased a ticket according to our body. Therefore, Shastra says that don't bother about this so-called distress and happiness. They are already fixed up. If you have got some energy, please utilize it how to develop in Krishna consciousness. Don't spoil your energy for so-called distress and happiness. That is mistake. But the modern civilization is so foolish, they are simply trying for bodily distress and happiness and spoiling the energy which he could utilize for understanding God. This is the defect of modern civilization. Actually, foolish civilization, they do not know what is the value of life, how we can realize our ultimate goal of life, what is this body, what is God. There is no education, there is no enlightenment. Simply, just like animals. The animals are trying, animal also trying to become comfortable. But it is not possible because he is animal. He cannot be as comfortable as a human being. That is not possible. It is destined. Say everyone is destined and fixed up his comfortable life. Tassaiva heta pradipita. Therefore one who is intelligent, he should simply spend his energy how to develop Krishna consciousness. That is intelligence. All right, okay.
Thank you very much. That was a wonderful, very impactful class with a lot of salient points by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Srila Prabhupada. So, in the usual manner, I would request you all devotees to turn on your cameras and would, if it is okay, and if you are comfortable to share some realizations from this purport, any comments, questions, anything that comes to mind from the class. If you can also turn on your cameras if that's possible. Otherwise, it would be only me on the camera. And it would be a bit uncomfortable for me. But thank you, Prabhu, for switching on the cameras. Thank you, Prabhuji. So, Prabhu, Dheeraj Prabhu, Balaji Prabhu, anything that struck out from what?
Prabhu, I want to ask one question. Like sometimes during Ekadasi or during feast time, sometimes we think like we will prepare this and that, and even though it is offered to the Lord, but sometimes it happens like this is very favorite for me, so I will prepare this and that. So how to not think like that, because it's always a pleasure. It is for the pleasure of the Lord. Whatever we prepare, whatever bhoga we prepare, it is the pleasure for the Lord. But sometimes it comes in my mind, especially during Ekadasi, like it happens with me, like I will prepare this juice or this offering, so it is favorite for me. But uh, it's it shouldn't be our thinking. So how to not think like that?
Thank you for this question, Prabhuji. Anybody on the group who would like to share some comments about this question? So the question is that it is ideal to prepare bhoga to what the Lord likes, but many times when we prepare bhoga, we try to prepare what we like, depending on, especially on Ekadashi, as Prabhuji is saying. And I'm sure we've all gone and are going through that experience and that stage. So how do we take it? Any comments on that one, Prabhuji, Mataji's? I mean, I would try to, I'm not qualified to answer, but I can try to comment on what I think is we are all devotees are at different levels of bhakti, different levels of surrender to the Lord. And depending on one's mood, depending on one's mode of surrender, they will have this, the desires will be of that level of purification. So when there is a pure devotee who is thinking about making bhoga for Krishna, all the Vrajavasis, they would think about what Krishna likes, because their existence is there to please Krishna and to please Krishna through Radharani and through his energies there in the spiritual world. So they're depending on the consciousness, they will think at that level. Our consciousness or my consciousness, I would say, is not at that level. So when we prepare something, we think of, let me prepare something for my children, let me prepare something that I like, or I haven't eaten this for a year. How about preparing this for Krishna? So that's how we take it. But nonetheless, we still not stop doing that, because that is a process of purification. Yes, we are not at that stage, but at least we are offering it and making an endeavor to prepare it to the best of the abilities that we know and according to the standards, and offering it through the procedures given by our Guru Parampara. So, and we can pray to Krishna as well that there are some defects that we have got in our offerings, which is the desires to enjoy, but please accept our shortcomings and please accept our offering. And hopefully, with that mood, we can continue, and with the purification will happen through the mercy. And hopefully, we all come to a stage that we think of what does Krishna likes today? What can I make it for him? So anyway, that's my short realization for your answer. But if anybody else wants to comment, that would be also wonderful, because this is a common thing that we all go through. Thank you, Prabhu. Srimati Mataji, how about your realizations? I don't make bhoga, but probably you do. So some practical tips will help your realization, Mataji.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranam, Krishna Prabhupada. Yeah, even though I cook bhoga for the Lord, I don't have that much realization. And because I always think about family, and that's all. So I'm not in that stage right now to know what Krishna likes and all. But yeah, sometimes for my Jagannath, what I do is like, I think about some dishes like it's been long time I didn't make this one, or it's been long time I didn't make elaborate bhoga. So like that I prepare. That's all, Prabhuji. That's maybe still more time needed for me to come to that particular stage. Yeah, but it's a good question, Dheeraj Prabhu. Yeah. As we progress in Krishna consciousness, maybe by Guru Maharaj's mercy, we'll be able to understand, or at least try to make an endeavor to think what Krishna likes, what he doesn't like. So yeah, that's all I can say. Thank you.
Thank you, Mataji. Scarlet Mataji, you have your hands raised. Is it a new question, or would you like to comment on this one? Thank you. Hare Krishna.
I have question. No, I am so far from to to comment on anything. I have a question too as well, and
Okay.
it's thank you very much for this class, and Hare Krishna to all of Akamba devotee. My question is, how do you all do? Because I was born in Muslim family, and the way we did it as food for offering, it was very, very, very different. It was only once a year we did it, and was very different anyway. But and even that you taste it to see the salt, to see there is enough salt in it, and so on and so on. But I have learned now, as a new in this movement, that you shouldn't even taste it. When you cook for Krishna, you shouldn't even taste it before. And that's what I'm worried every time. I'm worrying that maybe there is a little salt, or maybe too much salt, which it has happened. I'm honest. I'm going to say it honestly. It has happened that once it has nothing, no taste at all in it. I mean salt taste. There was no any salt taste in it. So I don't know. This worries me. How you all doing it?
Thank you, Mataji, for your honest questions. So I don't cook bhoga, but my wife, she doesn't taste it. She used to taste it many years ago, but she stopped doing that. And she tries to make her best, and then we try to complement with a salt and a pepper when we offer it. What also happens is that when you're cooking in big numbers as well, then what she does is she makes an offering without tasting it. Then she brings the bhoga back, and then she would then mix it up and taste it, and then do the recommend anything that is necessary, plus and minus, for feeding the devotees and the family. So that's what she does. But when she offers it to the deity, she doesn't taste it. So that's what I do in my family, or my wife does it. Yes, I had this question. I can relay a question that was asked by a devotee to another devotee whilst I was present. So one devotee asked a question saying, why should we not taste the bhoga? What we are making for the lordships. Ultimately, it is for their pleasure, so why can't we taste it? Because we are trying to make it for their lordships. And that Prabhuji gave an example of Shabari. Shabari was a devotee of Lord Ramachandra, and she offered Lord Ramachandra berries, or which were tasted by her. Now she tasted it to make sure that they were not sour, they were sweet and things like that. So many devotees, or this devotee was using that example, that if she was doing it, then why can't we, for the pleasure of the Lord? And this other devotee, who is a senior devotee, he gave an example saying that Shabari, this devotee of Lord Ramachandra, she was given a blessing, to that once, after many, I can't remember the duration, but it was a long duration, saying after many durations, Lord Ramachandra will come and you will have darshan of him. So that devotee Shabri, she would actually. So this episode is not in Valmiki Ramayan. This is in Tulsidas Ramayan, Ramcharitamanas. However, it is in aligning principles of bhakti. So I was just trying to say that and clarify that. So what he said, that devotee was anticipating every moment of her life, awaiting the arrival of Lord Ramachandra. And in that anticipation, she would collect berries in anticipation that Lord Ramachandra would come today. And there was not a single moment that she was not thinking of Lord Ramachandra. So the example is said that, and that devotee said to another devotee, that if you are thinking of the Lord every single moment of your life, every single moment, you have no other thoughts but to serve the Lord, but to think about the Lord. And if you are at that level, then yes, you can do it, because then you transcend the rules. And he said that I cannot judge where you are, but I'm not at that level. So pure devotees, when you go to that transcendental level, yes, they have this transcendental rasa with the Lord and they do these things. However, because we are sadhaka bhaktas, the guidance and the instructions from our guru is to actually not taste and offer. But I do realize the challenge. If you have less salt, you can complement with the salt. If it's more salt, then you just have to beg forgiveness from the Lord. Um, so sorry, Mataji, I don't have practical experience, but I heard this in a conversation. So I'm relaying that to you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. No, fortunately, I have never given it with so much salt. Opposite, I have given it with so little salt.
So you can on a practical level, Mataji, even in the temples, they put salt and pepper bottles. These are maha salt, so we don't consume it, but it is for the lordship. So you can put it whenever you are offering it. So, and requesting the Lord to take more.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. I will do it. Thank you very much.
Yes. Okay. What are questions on Bhoga? Important questions. Any other question, comments, realizations from the verse, or anything else? Please.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada's lecture is very nice. He reminded us about how we have to engage ourselves in the service, and 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 also he was telling about so when you get this body because of your previous activities in your previous lives. So when you know that this body is given by you because of that, then why you are behind this um, happiness and distress so in this material world. So he gave an example like this one, like train example he gave, right? So when we buy a ticket of third class, you can't travel in first class. So then definitely you have to face whatever situation is there in the third class. So the same thing with our body. So that one I liked it, Prabhuji, and yeah, many nice points he gave. It's very nice class. So,
it
and
was
also,
very impactful, yes, Mataji, because yes, Prabhupada mentions we are destined a certain amount of happiness and distress. So we should not be in anxiety and be satisfied in whatever conditions we are in. And that is the hardest thing to be satisfied of, where especially
yes,
when
Prabhuji, yeah, that's true. Yeah, and also we have a lot of expectations that everyone should behave like this, like that, and so based on that, we feel very unhappy or anxiety, as you said. So all these feelings will come, which will not be favorable for our devotional service. But yeah, but sometimes, yeah, like this, when we discuss or when we hear this type of lectures, we'll understand like where we are, and yeah, it's not needed actually, but it's a difficult practice. Yeah, we have to do it.
yeah, especially when we are in distress, right? From a job perspective, from a family perspective, from children perspective, health perspective, right? It's very much physically in distress that we go through, but also mental distress. So we have the options. Yeah, we have the options how we react to that situations and be Krishna conscious all the time, and that is the hardest thing in the sense that yeah, I mean even even in happiness, right? You get carried away, but there's not so much of a. I think the real testing time is when you're in distress. I would say so. At least from my life, I would say so. Scarlett Mataji, you have a question? Your hands raised.
Yes, no, somewhat it's question. I also heard this what Prabhupada says, that you shouldn't you shouldn't care about anything about your body, just to your services and so on, and don't be stressed or be sad about what your condition is. But the situation is reality. This reality. Okay, it's not reality, but still, this reality is that I walk with walker. I have damage. The doctor has operated and damaged my back, and so on and so on. So I can't go walk without walker, for instance, and I can't do many services that so many people can do. I can't do it anymore. Not even at home I can do it. So it's not so easy when I hear every time the service that you have to do and so on. And reality is, it's not that I'm pretending, it's not that I don't want, it's not that I don't like to do it. I love to do it, but still it's impossible. Some services, it's impossible. I can't go with walker in the kitchen of temple and wash the dishes, for instance. Here I have to hold the wall, the board, the table, and so on. Just to walk 2 steps, I have to hold in something. So I mean, it's not easy. But what I'm thinking, at least I can say now, I'm thinking like that this is this is maybe was test for me in this lifetime to see how I'm going to react. For instance, to give up and say, no, this is not for me. I can't do it. I can't be a devotee. I can't be in this movement because I cannot do many things others do. Or I can just continue and do what I can do and continue with my reading, with my chanting, with my attending classes and so on and so on. You know what I mean? So for me, it's kind of difficult to really understand how and why. You know what I mean?
Yes, Mataji. It is a challenging situation, yes. But I think, like my Guru Maharaj always says, he has given very nice lectures, which I also need to read today. I listened to him today on the topic of how reversals in our life gives us an opportunity to surrender more. So we have reversals, yes. In your case, Mataji, yes, it's physically constraining, challenging. But the only thing that we have got in our in our hands is the endeavor of our intent, and also the way that we react to those situations, and how we can use that opportunity to surrender more with those reversals. And this is where we need the association of devotees. We need Bhagavat, we need the name, holy name, and we need the devotee association, and we need Bhagavatam. So with that, I think it will give us the strength. Hopefully, I will pray that it will give you the strength, Mataji, to continue.
Thank you.
So the other thing, Mataji, I have also read, and I have done this, practiced this once or twice. When you are not able to serve, you can always do Manasi Seva. So an example of that is when Krishna's Vasudev and Devaki, they were in the prison, and when they have the news that Krishna was born, so Vasudev, his father, mentally offered thousands of cows to the Brahmanas. And there is another incident of a devotee in Chaitanya Charitamrita, which I cannot recall the name, as how he would offer opulent items of worship to the Lord mentally. He cannot afford it, but he's offering it mentally. But because he was offering it in such a meditative mood, he actually felt that he was offering it in real. So in your situation, Mataji, maybe you can offer your services, whatever you have a desire to do services for Krishna or devotees, you offer it mentally as if you are doing it for them. And if you are doing it in the right spirit, offering it to Krishna and Guru, you will have the same results, Mataji.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you, Mataji, and thank you all. We have a very short audience for participating, so thank you very much for your questions, your comments. If there's nothing else, I would like to conclude the class, if that is okay with everyone.
Thank you very much for this.
Thank you, Mataji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Samaveta bhakta vrinda ki jai. Bhagavatam ki